If you have unpaid credit card debt for longer than 7 years, then what happens next will depend on whether you've made any payments and what contact you've had with the creditors. Statute barred is a legal term that means a lender has run out of time to use certain types of action, like take you to court to make you pay the debt. This happens after the debt has been stagnant for over 6 years, but there also has to be no correspondence between you and the creditors and no money changing hands for it to stand up. This doesn't mean that the debt's just disappeared though. It will still remain unpaid on your credit file, but you can't legally be chased for it anymore. If you want to improve your credit score, you can still pay it off. Telling debt collectors or creditors it's statute barred should stop them from chasing you. If they continue contacting you, then you're within your rights to ask them to prove that the credit card debt isn't statute barred. This Limitation Act started in 1980 to protect debtors from debt collectors and so that the courts aren't constantly bombarded by debt cases. This works in your favour because if the debt is over 6 years and statute barred, you can report the debt collectors to the FCA for unnecessarily hounding you. There is one exception to this rule though, and that's if they've issued you with a county court judgment, which is called a CCJ for short. This means they have unlimited time to chase you for the debt. If you live in Scotland, the rules are slightly different. Statute barred is usually over a 5-year period instead of 6 for credit card debt. To try and work out if your debt is statute barred, check the date on your default notice. Is it over 6 years old? If it is, it could be statute barred. But there's one other thing to check. Get searching through your emails and statements because you also need to make sure that you've had no correspondence or made no payments to the creditors within that 6 years. If you haven't communicated with them, then there's a good chance that it falls within the Limitation Act. If you've got debts under 6 years old and you feel a bit overwhelmed, don't worry. There are options available to you, even if your debts aren't statute barred. You may want to look into debt solutions. Now, some of them can lower your monthly repayments and others can even write some of your debt off. But they all have pros and cons, so it's best to get a good understanding of all of them. I've got a short form just below this video and it's got a few multiple choice questions like how much debt do you owe and how many people do you owe. At the end of the form, it'll connect you to a company that I've partnered with to provide you with all the information that you need about debt solutions that are available. So click the link below, go and check it out and let me know how you get on.